Hey friend, in this video, I'm going to show you how to paint some big old blooming nasturtium flowers. I love this flower. I grew up with this flower. My mom planted this flower like it was a weed, but you don't plant weeds anyways. She loved this flower. It's all over the house, and these happen to be edible flowers. But I'm going to show you how I paint the leaves in a loose style and the trumpet shape when it's on its side, and then the round star-shaped flower version when it's viewed face down. So if you're ready to paint this flower with me, then let's dive in. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to teach you, we're going to be going over a really loose, explosive, wet and wet style nasturtium flower. This flower was all over the house I grew up in. My mom uses, it's like an ivy-ish type of flower, and it's edible. So my mom, when she would want a fancy salad, she would go in the yard, get some clippings of this. The leaves and the flowers are edible. So that's cool. But we're going to do like a really exploded style painting of this using wet and wet with a lot of bleeds and color movement. So I'm just finding a reference photo, not for the composition or the shape or anything, just I really love that color. That's so nice. Just for the shape of the flower. They are when they're on the side, they are a trumpet shaped flower, but straight on like this, they're a star shaped flower. So we've got 5-ish petals and they're all pointing to the center of the flower. We'll link to this reference photo in the description. Okay, so here's my reference photo for color reference and shape reference with, I'm gonna just add in my own flair to it as I'm painting though. This whole piece is gonna be done with my size 16 brush, lots of water because we're doing a lot of wet and wet technique. And I'm gonna mix up a really pale pink for this first almost white flower, but it's pink. So we're gonna do this opera rose, pale. Make sure you have a lot of water on your brush, and I'm going to, for these petals, kind of curve in. And this is super wet. And I can go back in with a darker pink with Opera Rose and Scarlet Lake on the center here. Because those nasturtiums have those little spots at the base of the petal. I'm just creating these teardrop shaped petals in a star shape around the flower. Light first, and then adding in my darker color to the base of each of these petals for some bleed. Now we're going to do a bright orange one. Using cadmium orange with a touch of Opera Rose for this petal color. And I want to touch this neighboring flower because I want it to be very bleedy, very wet and wet fluid. This petal's kind of curved on its side. Blur that in so that these two flowers are kind of just blurring together. And then we've got some red dots. And at this point, I might go in with some yellow for the centers of these flowers. Just kind of roll around in there. And with some yellow green on this one too. do some red ones. So Scarlet Lake. And I want to do a trumpet shape on its side right here and right here. So we're going to do a really pale, kind of almost triangle shape for the neck of the flower. Then once that dries, I'm going to do the lip of the petals over that. And then same thing down here. And then I might darken just the base of these. We're gonna wait for that to dry, so I'm gonna do some leaves with sap green. So these leaves are very circular, so maybe we have a leaf on its side, like so, and I'll go in and darken that one, and then a circle, a more circular shape one up here, maybe behind this guy. And then over here. Lots of bleeding happening. You can use the tip of your size 16 brush to give it these darker, thin lines for the veins. So I'm not going in and adding a bunch of detail, I'm just giving it the overall look or reference of this flower. So if you've never seen this flower before, it might help to actually pull up a really clear reference photo of what these look like, what these leaves look like. I'm just going around and adding just really light, whimsical vibe. And the stems are very curvy and wonky. Then you can go back on these flowers and add in and accentuate these spots in the flower with a few lines. might drag up some really thin. Then we need a dark, dark red. So I'm doing burnt umber and Scarlet Lake and a touch of Mars Black. More red on this guy. I'm going to do a touch more pink on the pink flower. And then for the lip of the trumpet flowers, I'm grabbing Opera Rose and Scarlet Lake in a thicker, more opaque version. I'm just kind of curving around for the edge of the petals that we're seeing. So for this lip type flower, I'm just kind of doing like a wavy shape with 3 little hills and making sure my petals are rounded like so. And there you go. We're gonna accentuate the center a little bit more with some lemon yellow deep and sap green for a yellow green. Just gonna add in some in the center. And if you want to finish it off with a cute little vase or something, you could mix up a gray color for a jar, outline of a jar. So I'm gonna pretend like I'm viewing like I'm standing at a table and these are a centerpiece on the table and I'm looking straight down, but I can see the bottom of the jar just kind of peeking out here. And we've got some stems. Remember, these stems are very wonky. And there you go. Oh, one last thing. To really make this look like a vase, let's add a shadow. Leaving it thin. There you go. Some cute nasturtium clippings in a vase. Maybe it's on your dining room table at home. The end. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've never heard of a nasturtium flower, I would love to know if this was your first time painting or even hearing of this flower. It's not super uncommon, I don't think. Maybe in other parts of the world it is, but I'm just very familiar with it because I've known it my whole life. But thank you so much for watching, and as always for liking, commenting, and watching these videos and subscribing to our channel. It means the world, and it really does help boost our channel and get it in front of the eyes of more and more people. So thank you so much for sharing the love, and I will see you in the next video.